Hey, Steve here, and I wanted to walk you through an old system of mine. Works pretty well. It's based on historical stats of the NASDAQ, and I think it was called the NASDAQ Profit System. I don't use it a ton. I use it more for the holidays. You can find it at tradingbinaryoptions.net/holiday.html. So this link right up here. Um, Anyways, I haven't updated it in a little while. You can see the stats are through January 1st, 2015. So actually we're only missing 2015 data. But you can see the day before Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving have very good historical win rates. Basically what this does, it goes through the NASDAQ. NASDAQ started in early 1970s and checks to see the day before Thanksgiving, was it up or was it down for the day? And historically, through 2014, it was up 82% of the time. I did pull up last year's information as well, and this is the day before Thanksgiving right here, which is a Wednesday, the 25th, and this Friday is the day after. So both of these were winners last year as well, so this should be 37 and 8 and 36 and 9. So a little better than these two numbers here. So I want to show you how I trade them. So basically, again, this is based on the data. So I want to be long on that particular day. That's all that has to do with the system. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's strictly based on the day before Thanksgiving is historically up day. Day after Thanksgiving is historically up day as well. A couple things: if you're trading at Nadex, Nadex is completely closed on Thursday, Thanksgiving, which is the 24th this year, and they do not reopen until Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So I'm here in my Nadex account, and I'm just going to show you, and I'm actually doing this video on Monday morning, so this is not going to be exactly what you're going to see, but this is how to do it. So in your Nadex account, you would go to indices and binaries, and this is off of the NASDAQ. So this is at Nadex, we actually trade the US Tech 100, which is the NASDAQ 100 futures. This is different pricing than the NASDAQ itself. The data that I have is strictly based on the NASDAQ itself, so they will be a little off. So if it's on a really close trade, it's going to potentially you lose and the system itself wins, or vice versa, etc. But that's the best we have at Nadex. So what you would do if you decide to trade this, there's a few different options you want to trade. So again, it's predicting Wednesday is an up day and Friday is an up day, or at least historically those 2 days have been up days. So if you want to trade them with a very high historical win rate, you can do that. So the way to trade this again is it's predicting Wednesday is an up day. So what you would do is actually take a look at the NASDAQ at 6 o'clock when Nadex reopens. So at 5 o'clock they close, nothing's available, and at 6 o'clock they reopen. So 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday the 22nd, you'll see something like this where you can do a US Tech 100 a daily, and it'll expire on Wednesday at 4:15. So it'll be a 22-hour trade or so. And you want to place it slightly in the money. So in this particular case, looking at it right in here, again, do not use these prices. I'm just using this as an example. 48.21. This contract is for 48.20. That would be the one I would be interested in trading. Now you can take it out of the money contract, you can take it in the money contract, whatever you want to do. But this is the way that I normally teach. So you can trade it that way. So that would be for Monday's trade. So what you would do, Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, log into your Nadex, take a daily trade on the US Tech 100 for slightly in the money. If it's a winning trade, great. If it's a losing trade, then it went against the results of the last 40 years of 82%. And as you can see, it's not 100% win rate. It's 82%, which doesn't necessarily mean it'll stay 82% for the rest of time either. But it has a very high win rate, so I'll be trading this for many years yet. So that is a trade. 6 p.m. Tuesday, buy the US Tech 100 on a daily contract. Now, you also, if you wanted to, have a Friday trade as well. This one's a little different. So if you wanted to do two different trades, so if you want to take the Wednesday trade and the Friday trade, I'm going to go over that first. And then if you wanted to take strictly them combined, I'll talk about that in a second as well. So the two for Wednesday, you enter at 6 p.m. on Tuesday evening, and you buy it there. So obviously you don't have to do it exactly at 6 p.m. But you want to be as close to the starting time as possible. Actually, this way you're getting about 2 hours after the market actually closed, so it's possible that the Nasdaq has already run up or run down in that time as well. So, and there's more information on that holiday site as well. So, but that's what you do for the Wednesday entry. Now, for the Friday entry. Friday, again, Nadex does not open until 8 a.m., but you do not want to enter at 8 a.m. So what you would want to do for the Friday entry is take a look at Nadex at 4 o'clock on Wednesday. So it's a normal closing day on Wednesday. They'll actually close the trade at 4:15, but the weekly is what you would want to be looking at. Because you'd want to look at the weekly on Wednesday at 4:15, which is the close, because Thursday the markets are closed, and then Friday you want that whole day. So the markets continue to trade throughout Thanksgiving. Nadex just isn't open. So the futures, it's not like the futures close and then never reopen until 8 a.m. on Friday. They are still trading, so you'll have it where there'll be gaps up or down and so forth. So what you would want to do on Wednesday at 4 p.m. is, again, take the US Tech 100, but hit the weekly instead. Don't do the dailies. Because the daily would close you at 4:15 on Wednesday. You're going to want to look at the weekly, and the weekly closes on Friday at 1:15. So Friday is actually a half a day in the stock market, and Nadex has that as well. So the actual indices will close at 1 p.m. The futures close at 1:15. So, but if you enter the weekly at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, you're covering everything that happens from Wednesday night all the way until everything that happens until 1:15 on Friday. So that's the way you would want to trade it. If you trade it at 8 a.m. on Friday, it's potential that it could have gapped up 10 points or whatever, and you want to get as close to that as possible. For example, what I mean by that, the systems are never based on open to close. They're always based close to close. And what I mean by that is this. And you can see, for example, this is a trade from last year. I just had the chart up. But on November 19th, 2015, the market closed at 50.73 and change. This is a very small up bar as far as from open to close. But it's actually up. If you look down here, you'll see it's actually up about almost 30 points. Even though that bar is very, very small, it's up almost 30 points. It's up almost 30 points. And the reason is it's up from where this closed. So this bar should actually be blue from where my arrow is all the way there. But this particular graph is strictly based on open to close. But the market itself is not based on open to close. The market itself is based on close to close. So this was up 29 points. This was not up 4 points that it looks like it was up. So very important, and that's why we do the Wednesday close. From Wednesday close, the weekly until Friday. So again, so the other way to trade it again is if you want to trade it strictly based on one trade. So even though there's two trades, you don't want to risk $50 on two different times. You can trade it as one trade, and by doing that, what you would do is Tuesday, 6 p.m. again, is take a weekly trade at 6 p.m. And actually, you could take the weekly trade at 4 p.m. on Tuesday, and that would encompass all of Friday trading, all of Thursday, which is closed, and then all of Friday. The problem with that, though, is, for example, if the NASDAQ loses by, say, 10 points on Wednesday, and then wins by 5 points on Friday, you would have been 1-1. If you traded both trades, you would have lost on Wednesday and won on Friday. However, if you traded just one weekly, you would have lost that trade itself, because the losing trade was down 10, and the Friday trade did not make up for it. So so keep that in mind. So there's a few different ways to trade it. Again, this is last year's chart. So this is where it closed last Tuesday, 51.03, and then it opened slightly up for the day, maybe 3 points, and then closed up about 13 total. And then the next day on that Friday, you can see it opened up. It opened up about 4 points, went down a bit, and then closed up about 11 total. So it's a neat little thing, again, but it's strictly based on historical data. There's nothing else to it. Just was it up or was it down? And things kind of repeat themselves a lot, even though past performance is no indication of future performance. The markets have, in the past at least, repeated patterns, and this is one pattern that I found interesting. So I will be trading this. I will not be around a whole lot. I'll be traveling a lot this week, so I won't have a lot of help for you. Feel free to email me, though, and I'll do my best to answer any questions that you might have. But take a look. Again, if you're interested in trading it, the way that my suggestion to trade it would be Tuesday, 6 p.m. Take a daily trade on the US Tech 100 in the plus direction or the up direction, and then also at Wednesday, 4 p.m. take a weekly long position, and you can cover the Friday trade at that point. So hopefully this was helpful, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thanks.